Pac-12 women's soccer season begins tonight in Los Angeles under the lights at Drake Stadium. We're here to see a program on the rise. The Oregon Ducks and the two-time defending Pac-12 champions, the UCLA Bruins. Hey, good evening, everyone. With Temris Lane, I am JB Long, and all the soccer we've seen for the last month in non-conference has built towards these 11 matches around robin to determine a new Pac-12 champion.
This is the exciting part. Of course, starting the season exciting, but now running into conference play, the stakes are high and both sides are ready. They're ready for this fresh start.
The Ducks and the Bruins both coming off dramatic late victories to wrap up their non-conference slate. In UCLA's case, it was a home match against Pepperdine, scoreless until late. The Bruins drew 2 second-half penalty kicks, and it was Annie Alvarado who cashed in the second.
Importantly so. It was a necessary finish here. You hate to miss one penalty, so when you have a chance at a second, you've got to make sure you put that one away, just like Annie Alvarado in this one. Excellent finish.
Now, the challenge tonight is replacing 3 frontline players, Darian Jenkins, Taylor Smith, and Gabby Miranda, all missing in action due to injury or red card.
That's going to impact UCLA big time. However, this gives the opportunity for young, fresh, vibrant, energetic players to step in and fulfill the role. We can anticipate that these guys will still remain vocal leaders.
And then, Temris, I know that you were in Eugene last Friday to see the Ducks get a 1-0 victory over Portland State.
Yes, and it was this freshman phenom, Kira Fawcett, who stepped up, super substitution, to get the 1-0 lead and victory for Oregon Ducks. Excellent step over and excellent finish from the young freshman.
They are coming off back-to-back clean sheets. Are they ready to compete with the UCLAs in the Pac-12? Are the Bruins set to defend their Pac-12 crown? The road to a new Pac-12 champion starts next on the network.
This Pac-12 women's soccer game is brought to you by Pure Silk. Pure Silk Moisturizing Cream for legs that look and feel like pure silk.
Set for the Pac-12 opener tonight in women's soccer from Los Angeles, Oregon, and UCLA. The Bruins, the two-time reigning Pac-12 champions, welcome the Ducks in their 4-3-3 formation. Hatla Henriques, off her first career shutout against Portland State, now gets a taste of conference play with Parr and Fu in front of her. Look for Minor, Everett, and Scholes up top. As for UCLA, Ariel Schechtman earned her first career start, and it was a shutout against Pepperdine in goal. In front of her, the reigning Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week, her left central back, Mad Ty, as she's known here in Westwood. So at Temris Lane, JB Long, they're the keepers, and we are set to begin this 11-match conference slates, UCLA and Oregon from Westwood. There is Amanda Cromwell. Abby Morrow carries outside. Everett's up top in that attacking third. 2 Bruins making their first career starts tonight. Rima Bazia at left back, and also Claire Winter, a holding mid.
Big start for the young players as they enter in a really important match, the first of conference play. It shows the confidence that Coach Cromwell has in their ability, and really the opportunity they've been waiting for. Every player on both sides has the ability and the potential to start, and it's up to them to really earn their spot.
This is Serta. Whistle goes against Ashley Scholes, her 5'5" junior from Springfield, Oregon. She's on an assist this season. Neither side has been prolific in the goal-scoring column. And Temris, you and I just had a pre-match conversation about that's a struggle that a lot of Pac-12 programs are going through at this time of year. Yeah,
and it's not so unusual for the start of seasons, but this many matches in, you expect to have identified your goal scorers. And that's something I've noticed throughout the conferences. There are sprinkles and little glimpses of goal scorers stepping up and really taking advantage of their opportunities. But I think every side is looking for their go-to.
Haley Mace in that left back position has her mark. Alvarado with the clearance.
And that's exactly what Oregon is looking to do, is looking to catch UCLA on transitions, just as we saw. They made a brilliant effort moving that ball forward quickly at pace, beating them down the flank, flanks and then getting the ball into the middle here. Little trip off in the back. That's what earned them the call.
Yeah, Costa in a battle there.
So if you notice here, Oregon is dropping off significantly, letting UCLA play, forcing them to play either around or even asking them to play over the top, but not through. They don't want to make it easy for the Bruins to penetrate the Ducks defense through the center of the pitch.
Cody Labruski playing higher tonight than she normally does as they try and replace some scoring punch. Here's a lead for Goralski end line.
That was an excellent ball in. Just a little too much on it, but the right idea. Good vision and a cheeky little chip over the top. I'd like the idea.
Temris, let's follow up on the graphic we showed our audience off the top of the program with some frontline stars for UCLA out tonight. Taylor Smith serving the second of a 2-game suspension following her red card on the road in the Carolinas. Meanwhile, Gabby Miranda continues to work back to full fitness, and Darian Jenkins, who was toppled and left with an injury in that Pepperdine match in the first half, did not return that day and is not available tonight either.
Yeah, and you know, this is something that every team has to deal with in one form or fashion, whether it's injury or, like you said, red cards for Smith. You have to make adjustments, and that's really where the depth of your roster plays a significant role.
Goralski takes over, throws ahead to Serta, and here is Hatla Henriksdottir, 5'7" sophomore who has won the keeper job for Kat Mertz.
Yeah, great clearance from her. Well played off her line. That's about being confident and being aware of your spacing, being almost that 11th defender, that final defender back there.
Coach Mertz saying she has good presence, good confidence, and we're going to ride that as we get to Pac-12 play. As a defender, how important is that to have a consistent voice behind you?
Oh, it's almost everything. And I say almost because there's, of course, 10 other players on the field. But when you have a goalkeeper who you trust in with everything, and who is the vocal leader, who you know can play off their line, can play with their feet, and step up and make significant, impactful, and important saves, you're able to play a better game.
Lauren Holden, and she waged a very good battle throughout camp, throughout the non-conference slate.
Yeah, and it was her game on Friday. She made a terrific save, a free kick save, taken from Portland State, and it was a brilliant far post shot, and she reached over, got a mitt on it, it hit the post, and was cleared out. I think that's really what sealed the deal for Coach Mertz, at least for this start in conference play.
Ashley Scholes, Oregon Gatorades Girl Player of the Year out of Thurston High School. Here's Kasky playing to the feet of Labruski. Reigning Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week tie.
You know, one of the things that Coach Cromwell is really focusing on is not giving away those silly balls, especially in their defensive half. She said all but 2 of the goals scored against them this year have come from silly turnovers, directly from turnovers. She even outlined it. She said, I'm talking 1, 2, 3 passes goal. And that's something I've noticed with UCLA, especially in their match against Texas. It was the same. It was these midfield square ball, unintentional passes that were just not taking care of the ball that really caused UCLA to turn over the ball in dangerous position.
Not only did those mistakes not happen as often last season, but there was also Dahlkemper and Oyster and Rowland to cover them up if and when they did.
Absolutely, and I think that's one thing that this team is really trying to get out from the shadow of last year's team, but it's impossible because this is such a brilliant program with a reputation, and when you graduate 9 starters, or when 9 starters are no longer eligible and there's only 2 to remain, the program has to change and shift and accommodate the new roles. And Kat Mertz, she's done an excellent job on the Duck side as well, having to shift and adjust. And she had 2 players out and a key player in Sweatman last Friday, and they were able to get the victory. But there is something to be said about having those experienced players in your lineup. So important for leadership.
Another one of them, the redshirt sophomore Caitlin Wong, we expect to see tonight. She's still working her way back to full fitness in a full 90 minutes, but she made her season debut in that Portland State victory and assisted on the game-winning goal.
It was an excellent play, and it was a pleasure to watch. It's always interesting for me when you see players out there with a knee brace on, recovering from such a severe injury, especially as a defender. I like to see someone back out there, and it was great to see her forward pass be the game-winning assist.
7 minutes gone in Westwood here at Drake Stadium. Pac-12 opener for UCLA and Oregon. This is Caskey, and now Alvarado, who had the game-winning strike from the penalty spot against Pepperdine. Mace pulls it through. 2 Duck defenders. Now she's at pace.
It's good strength from Mace, but she just gives it away on that last final pass, and that's the pass that I had a discussion with Coach Cromwell about, just taking care of that final ball so that you have the opportunity on goal.
Rima Bazia will take this throw for Cromwell, and Bazia is making her first collegiate start after making her debut with UCLA, playing a strong 33 minutes in the second half against Pepperdine for Coach Cromwell. You know, Amanda said that she's had to improve as a coach more this season than maybe at any other point in her career. And I said, well, what do you mean by improvement? What areas have you improved as not just a Pac-12, but a national coach of the year? And she said patience is the biggest area. And finding that right balance between holding these players to a high standard, because these are all top recruits who expect to win championships, but also understanding that a lot of them haven't played in a couple of years. They haven't played since they were seniors in high school.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of these players...
Oh, dangerous here. It's flicked on past Henriques, and it creeps in for the first goal. Mackenzie Serta.
Take a look at this ball. Excellent ball over the top, right at her feet. Misjudged by Fu, but capitalized by Serta. UCLA Bruins up 1.
Gives Zoe Goralska her second assist of the season. Just a beautiful ball to Serta, who was a prolific goal scorer. And speaking of top recruits, here's a prep All-American finding her time as a sophomore in Westwood.
What a great goal. Another opportunity. UCLA now sees it. They see that they have an opportunity to go forward. And it's a foot race on that back line.
Shaylee Minor working with Sweatman through that midfield. Gets it right in front of that UCLA bench. Working against Rima Bazia, the starting right back who we just spoke of. Bruins able to win it. And that's dunked off the touchline and off a duck. And so a UCLA throw up coming. There's Bazia. She's from Irvine, California, redshirt freshman.
There was an unfortunate defensive error on the Ducks side. I'm sure there was a little frustration on that bounce for Fu, and of course Enrique's daughter thought she was either going to get it or her defender was. But that's why you always, in this game, in the game of soccer, in the game of football, you always anticipate the best outcome or the worst. You got to be on your toes. But in this circumstance for UCLA, Serta was on it, and she just saw the opportunity, and it misbounced in her favor.
You got a good look at Kristen Parr there, a senior for Oregon, who has gone from a forward striking position now to a back to cover up some missing personnel on Oregon's side as well. What a humble move as an upper-class player to make the move to the back line, because that's what your team needs.
Yeah, and any player on the pitch is where they are because they've been asked to be there, and it's a role that their coach believes they can fill. And if your coach believes in you, it's a good feeling. You want to fulfill that role. You want to live up to that expectation.
Just a flick of a header, and it's gobbled up by Ariel Schechtman.
Good opportunity there for the Ducks. Look at this bounce, redirected right behind the Bruins back line, but Schechtman there to just clean it up.
Redshirt freshman from Del Mar, California, another top 100 recruit. So these are the players that have kind of been waiting for their turn while the All-Americans and the All-Pac-12 talents ahead of them depart and pursue their professional careers.
Yeah, that would be something different, to be on the bench watching these incredible athletes, many of whom have gone pro now, and knowing that your turn is next year. And now next year is here.
Caskey with a great win in midfield. Spots Goralski, who had the assist on that goal.
I will say Bruins are looking much cleaner, more accurate with their passing, more concise, more crisp. This is what they've really been working on, is their attack.
Look at this combination. It was spoiled by the referee.
Those are always frustrating. Referee in the way of the play. It happens.
Minor from Sweatman here. Courtney Proctor, just great to see her healthy and playing center back for UCLA. There she is, number 77 in black and gold tonight.
Bruins putting high pressure on the Ducks when they're moving it around their back line.
Sweatman drops back to receive. Throws the ball ahead to Minor. She gets a left-footed touch. Cannot win the race to the end line. And so goal kick coming for UCLA as we close out our 13th minute with the Bruins in front 1-0 on the goal by Mackenzie Serta. To go back to one of the first points you made about finding goal scorers, Serta is now the 8th different Bruin to score one of their 10 goals this year. So it's been a very balanced, even distribution. There has not been a dominant goal scorer here in Westwood.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing. But it also really helps when you play on a team. Physical game it is.
Foul on Chambers.
But it helps when you play on a team where there is someone you can count on. You know that they are your goal scorer. Look at that. Just a little. You got to go. She even went straight up, but she went straight up into the player. Rules are you got to go for the ball.
Chambers, a California native. Nice moment for her as a freshman to get her start here at Drake Stadium. Kazia and Goralski near touchline, taken away by Miranda Schulz.
It'll be interesting to see how Oregon possesses or dispossesses. I think one of the struggles right now for them is when they get the ball, they need to do their best to keep the ball. And the last few opportunities they've had, we've seen them try and play the through ball down the flank, forcing one of their teammates to make a run for it, like we saw Minor, and she just didn't quite get the touch on it. That's hard. That's hard when you're being pressed so high by the UCLA defense.
Everett trying to connect with Scholes up top, nearly squeezed it through. Bruins take over. Bazia will carry forward. Kowalski gives her some width. Serta was making a run wide. She threw it center.
Let's see how the Ducks compose themselves here.
Chance to build from the back with Fu. Costa's out wide for her.
Looking to gain some possession, but UCLA is putting the pressure on. Sweatman, a key fixture, and returning to the starting lineup after missing last week's matchup.
Right idea there, but Proctor shut it down. Forward win back for Oregon.
Oregon gaining some momentum here.
Minor throws it across, keeper after it. And we'll have to play it with her feet. Just dumps it over the touchline for an Oregon throw.
It's the right idea. I'm sure Coach Mertz was happy to see that cross. She might have taken it a little further down the flank to get a better angle on that cross and allow for more runners to get in the box. Nonetheless, throwing in their attacking third.
There's the former UCLA assistant, now in her third season, building the Ducks program.
That was a shot on goal. A shot on goal and deflection, earning them an important corner kick.
First of the match for either team.
Take a look at this throw-in. This is where dangerous throw-ins really make a difference. Looked like they caught Sheckman just kind of off guard a little. She didn't anticipate that one.
Costa, the sophomore back. And so in the 17th minute, the first corner belongs to the Oregon Ducks. Here it comes to the top of the six. Bruins able to sweep it away.
Defensively, your goal is not to allow the ball to bounce. So
a lot of Ducks in the area here. It falls to their feet, but they could not get the clean shot off against Sheckman.
That was an excellent ball back in. The runners were there. They just weren't able to settle this one down. Check out this ball. They timed their runs perfectly. I didn't see a flag go up. Defender there was able to just get up, get enough on it to make it difficult for the Ducks to settle and have an opportunity on goal.
Only one UCLA player in the area, and they're lucky it was the reigning Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week, Ty.
Yeah, Ty made a good save there. Just enough. Sometimes that's all it takes on both sides, defensively and offensively. Just enough.
But that little stretch of a minute or so that resulted in the corner and then the recycled ball was the best possession and the best threat we've seen from the Ducks.
Yeah, they had a fire. It was good to see. It was good to see from them just motivate within themselves, find the leadership, find the possession, gain confidence. Making some subs here.
Kira Wagner, senior mid, comes on for the Oregon Ducks. Gets an early touch. Kasky takes over. Here's Labruski.
Looks like their Ducks are putting higher pressure on the back line, working out in their favor.
Costa gets a win. Look at her carry through as well.
Yeah, what composure right there.
Good bit of skill from the sophomore from Healdsburg, California.
Excellent composure. She had a player on her the whole time, making it difficult for her to possess, and she did well to release pressure.
Proctor puts a right foot into it.
Well read there by Sweatman.
Indeed. Good step defensively. Nicely done by Ty. Now can she get away from the Duck? Marissa Everett giving her all she can handle. A UCLA throw up coming.
In the first start of this match, the Ducks were dropping just a little, allowing the Bruin defense to possess, play in the back, no real threat when they can play in the back. But now they seem to really turn it up a little and put higher pressure on their back four.
See Marlo Sweatman there. I loved her preseason quote on being picked 11th out of 12 league teams. She said, "We're definitely going to show them something they've never seen from Oregon soccer. Tonight, the night to start to prove it." She makes her turn down the far sideline.
Fun player to watch, impactful and important player.
Ooh, the service was there, and it fell to the feet of a threatening shot. Delivered by Marissa Everett. The freshman's been active.
She's a fun one to watch. She's got quickness and a high soccer IQ, as Coach Kat Mertz says. Excellent left foot there. She hit that one on the way up, which is why we see it go over the bar.
Bazia dispossessed, at least momentarily. As
good pressure from the Ducks.
It was Abby Morrow charging.
You can feel the energy. It's a bit higher this game. The stakes are higher. This is conference play. This is why each and every one of these players is out here for these kind of matches, to compete in one of the best leagues in the NCAA.
Oregon had so many narrow losses last year, Temris. 9 one-goal defeats. You turn a few of those this year into draws, into points, maybe even a couple of 3-point wins. It's a whole different story, and it can feel like in year 3 under Kat Mertz, they're making some great traction.
Yeah, and it's about understanding your coach as well, understanding what their communication entails and what it involves, and the expectation, and really just the style of play, the system.
Proctor turns it over. Everett continues to be a force for the Ducks, working from that right flank. Bruins win it back. Here's Kasky, center of the park. She's going to switch it over to Bazia.
Both teams working extremely hard to possess the ball and really play their game. And I think we've seen spurts of that from both sides.
UCLA connecting their passes here along the back four. They've yet to gain much yardage out of it. Now Ty looks ready to go over the top with Labruski, her target. She put a solid header on it, now chasing. And the keeper is on it. Hatla Henriks, the sophomore from Iceland, 5 starts on the season, 3 goals allowed, a 0.59 goals against average.
Look at the Bruins just closed down that back line. There was immediate pressure. They forced they forced the Ducks to go inside. It was Ashley Schultz that had that ball, and they just immediately pressured her.
Physical play on as Abby Morrow won it. Now she's got it ahead to Miranda Scholes. Nothing but black kits around her. A little heel flick. That sets up a shot, and it's on the keeper, Schechtman.
Brilliant play there from Miranda Schultz. I wasn't expecting that one. She's their target player. She's crafty. She's good on the ball. Take a look at this. Cheeky little back heel. I love this. Sets up a player for just a shot right off the bat. Excellent play there. And creativity from Oregon Ducks. Gotta love it.
Left-footed ball from Kira Wagner. Oregon now with 2 shots on the match. Here's another UCLA's way, and it caroms off that back supporting post.
Here, this is what goes over the top and results in an Oregon goal kick. But wow, what a quick transition. We were still talking about that last play, and UCLA already got a shot off.
Lavrusky brings it down at midfield. We'll use her back line here. Mace and Mad Ty on that left side, in the back 4 for the Bruins. This is Alvarado helping back. Second year in a row that Alvarado has topped the Bruins charts in fitness testing. The junior from Newport Beach who came to campus as a near walk-on has emerged as one of their most important players.
There's always one of those fitness individuals on every team. The one that definitely works hard in the off season, but no matter how hard they work or not work, they're always going to win. I had a teammate like that who she just was built for the game and built to we called her Charlie Hustle at Arizona State because she could just run, and she ran track also in the mile and those painful the 800. But it's fun to have those individuals as your rabbit and really set the bar and the standard for the fitness that is required to play at this top level.
I think Amanda Cromwell tries to avoid direct comparisons between last year's group of all-conference players and the group that's currently on the field, but she did say early on that Annie Alvarado is doing her best Sarah Killian impersonation for this particular group of Bruins.
Big boots to fill.
We're in the 25th minute with the Bruins in front 1-0. Mackenzie Serta with her first goal gets the Bruins ahead in the Pac-12 opener. With Temris Lane, I'm JB Long. Glad you're with us deep into the Friday nights here on Pac-12 Network. Invite you to follow along on Twitter, on social media all season long using the hashtag Pac-12WSOC. Pac-12WSOC to converse with us about all things Pac-12 women's soccer.
UCLA having a bout of possession here in their defensive back 4 and through their central midfield, doing well to just be patient. And you can see the Ducks have just dropped off, and I think this was a lot of the strategy is probably to pick and choose their moments to press like this one.
Everett's been tremendous. She centers, interrupted by Lauren Caskey.
Again, it's that final ball, quick transition, and there is this sense of urgency to get that ball off quickly as soon as you can because you're being swarmed by the Bruin defense. But just taking maybe one more touch and a better look to find your teammates could keep you possession.
In time for those teammates to make their run.
Absolutely. She was so quick at that turnover that they were still transitioning. Good turn there. Excellent skill in the midfield.
That's Winter. Try to connect up high with Serta.
Wong gets a touch on that one.
There's Sweatman for the Ducks. Cost up the right side to Everett. She splits 2 Bruin defenders. Marissa Everett, very impressive left-footed ball. Smothered by Schechtman.
Wow, excellent play there from Everett. She came out with the ball at her feet despite being defended by 2 Bruin defenders. Beats the first 2 here. Make that 3 defenders and then manages to get it on her left foot and gets a shot off. I think she might have even surprised herself on that one, that she made it through the gauntlet, but she did. gets a shot off, just not quite enough to beat Scheckman.
She's on 1 goal through 8 matches for the Ducks. Almost hard to believe she doesn't have more from what we've seen tonight.
She's having an excellent game, and she might be someone that really threatens the Bruin defense.
Rusky surveys her options. Winds up at the feet of Kasky. Winter throws it to the corner for Lavrusky to chase. Well marked. Costa on the outside. It'll be a UCLA throw in deep in their attacking third.
Costa having an excellent match so far, both defensively and offensively. Credit to Oregon Ducks defense, both sides. UCLA Bruins defense, with the exception of the missed bounce from Fu, they've held up. Both sides I've seen really tight back lines. You can tell the energy and the motivation to step on the pitch tonight and prove something to themselves and to the Pac-12. It's there.
Saw Amber Munnerlyn into the match. She's been dynamic at times for UCLA, including a wonderful end-line turn against Pepperdine that nearly created the game-winning goal. She'll take her place up top in support of Kasky as Madison Tye comes off. Here's a win for Shoals and the Ducks. 29th minute here at Drake Stadium. The Bruins with a 1-0 lead in the Pac-12 opener. Here is Munnerlyn, her first touch. Wong has her marked all the way. How important is this player, Caitlin Wong? Not just in terms of what she brings to the pitch as a soccer player, but also just a dynamic leader and a wonderful student athlete. A 4.02 GPA in biochemistry.
Wow.
That was the highest GPA for any player in the conference last year. Caitlin Wong,
Impressive.
17 for the Ducks.
I think there is a correlation between your discipline in the classroom and your discipline on the pitch. And it's really just about applying yourself, but extremely impressive.
Munnerlyn and Lavrusky with the follow. It was swept off her studs at the last minute.
Good transition here from the Ducks, building out of the back.
They've got Everett up top. See, Rima Bazia has switched over from right back to left back. Flag is up for offside, and it's blown dead.
Let's take a look as this ball comes in, and it was a turnover there that caused this one. Good defense, good clearance here from the Ducks. It was a missed pass back initially that caused that chaos for the Oregon Ducks in their defensive third.
Sipar step for step with Munnerlyn. Proctor looking for a way out of the back. Using Mace. Now Bazia on the outside.
So Bazia switched over to defend the likes of Everett, as she's proving to be a bit more dangerous than they might have anticipated. She's extremely great with the ball at her feet, as we've seen. She's quick. She's got a sense of quickness.
Nice step in the midfield for the Ducks. Abby Morrow nearly got it back. Here's Everett stepping forward again. Is he anticipating? Morrow juggling, looking for the win against Lavrusky, who brings it down for the Bruins. Gotten a little ragged here. Half an hour into this match, both teams battling for control.
Yeah, we're still looking to get back into that high, intense rhythm that we'd seen at the start of the match. Good reset here for Ducks.
Scholes and Parr teaming. Now they've got Wong into the mix.
It's good movement in that back lineup. Good hustle here.
Bazia just boxing out, earning the goal kick for UCLA.
You like to see that kind of effort from a teammate. It inspires you. She kind of turned it into fifth gear there. She put pressure on Bazia.
Either in front of the back line or beyond the back line. There you go, bro!
In front of the back line or beyond the back line. Coach's instruction.
Speaking of the attacking third,
I'm not sure who she was speaking to.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who she was speaking to, but I would assume that if she's talking about distribution, she's saying let's play feet, or we're going beyond them. We're going through them just like where their goal came from. Came from a through ball beyond their back line, but also UCLA is really crafty. They play balls to their feet, and that allows them to play their technical game. But I think that's what we're seeing is a variety from UCLA Bruins.
Lebreski trying to play to the feet of Munnerlyn there, by example. Oregon with a 4-2 shots lead here into the 33rd, but UCLA has the goal. Here's Lebreski, senior, lone goal of the season at North Carolina, where Munnerlyn used to play. Transferred back home to California and has joined the Bruins side.
I showed off my skill.
Lebreski the target of that chip.
Dangerous position there for Bruins.
Serta followed it up as well. Alvarado gets it back with a nifty pass. Here is Serta driving center.
Serta, excellent to follow that ball through. She was also on the follow-up. A lot of soccer is about the second ball. The ball in the box, dangerous for the Ducks. UCLA was making sure they were just there just in case they had the opportunity.
Oregon substitutions in the match. Now coming on the pitch, number 8, Maren Buehler, number 10, Kelsey Fu. Also coming on number 12, Bailyn
Ducks taking a throw-in and making a substitution here.
Thursday, it's the season debut of women's soccer and our game of the week. We've got Washington set for a showdown with the Bruins. That's Thursday at 7 on Pac-12 Network, or you can watch on your Pac-12 Now app, pac-12.com. Always your friend. Embrace the dash at pac-12.com. Every week, we've got a Thursday game of the week throughout the fall in this conference schedule.
I'd say that Bizia is doing an excellent job. Bizia right there, 66, in her first start.
Whistle goes against the Ducks. So you see Alvarado coming off of her game-winning PK against Pepperdine. Pepperdine was the 4th top 20 team the Bruins faced non-conference. So even though their mark is just 500 on the year, they are already battle-tested as they hit the conference schedule.
That gives you a different kind of confidence when you know you've played some of the top teams. You know that you can hang with some of the top teams, even if your result wasn't what you wanted. Like it sounds like UCLA has experienced. Coach Cromwell at least believing, they know they can do better. They know they have the talent. We're seeing a bit of that tonight. We haven't seen so many turnovers from UCLA. And that was something they were really working on, is just taking care of the ball, making sure that they're more precise and intentional in the attack.
Some nervous moments here for Mace and Proctor, the center backs. An Oregon throw. We are not used to seeing Pac-12 opponents bother UCLA with high pressure. That is new here in 2015.
Yeah, it's a different team. 2015 side is different than the 2014 side, and that's what we're seeing. And Kat Mertz even said before the game, you can never count UCLA out of the Pac-12 conference in terms of finishing at the top. You just can't. That's what this program has built, is a reputation for constantly finishing in the top. So when players come to play, when teams come to play, the Bruins, they bring their A game.
Zia steps through and dispossesses Costa.
Good skill here from Bruins side. But recovered there from Wong.
Kara Wagner helping to hold it for the Ducks.
Well, let's see how many players can catch up here and support this attack as they go wide, looking for runners in the box.
Miranda Scholes holding it, now serving it, top of the 18. Punched away by UCLA.
That's a great clearance. Great idea also. Schultz did well to play her role as the target player, take care of the ball, and make sure she puts it in a dangerous position.
Got Sweatman on it now.
Just a little too much. It was the right idea. She had a 2v1 over there on that right flank, but she just drove that one a little too far instead of chipping it a little over the top. With the softer land, easy to run onto. This one went over the end line for a Bruin goal kick.
Mentioned it's a homecoming for Kat Mertz, a former UCLA assistant, spending 5 years here in Westwood. All 5 of them Sweet 16 appearances, 3 college cups, 3 Pac-10 then championships.
Gives you a different kind of motivation as a coach. A player, a coach, whomever. If you're returning to a institution, a team, a club that you used to be part of, you just want to prove yourself. And you want to prove that you can hang.
Tremendous hire. She's done wonders for this program. You can see the layers of recruiting that she's built in. She has players with great soccer IQs now that can lead training sessions in the off season. She has program players.
Yeah, it's important, and I think we see it in her character, in her coaching style, and the way the players respond to her. And she got the win last Friday on her birthday.
That's right. Birthday victory over Portland State. They had kept back-to-back clean sheets to round out their non-conference slate. UCLA picked up a goal in the first 10 minutes here. Foul goes against Ashley Scholes.
There's this saying that it's either the player or the ball gets by you, but not both. But of course, you have to be professional about your decision. You don't want to do that in the penalty area. Dangerous transition here from Oregon.
They've got Scholes up top. Race to the football. Schechtman on it.
That looked a lot like the goal that UCLA scored. This time it went in the defense's favor. A miscue, a miscommunication, an interesting bounce. Schultz running onto this one. The defender just got in the way just in time. Proctor stepped in between Schultz and the ball just in time, but Schechtman barely got her hands on it.
Just a careless giveaway. Wagner takes over, spotting Scholes again. Center backs have to play it cleanly. There's a tap of the forehead from Mace back to Schechtman this time. Kasky and Alvarado in the midfield for UCLA. Proctor playing over the top. Final 5 minutes of the opening half. UCLA has had the advantage since the 9th minute. First goal for Mackenzie Serta, assisted by Zoe Goralski. And UCLA will bring another substitute into the match. Christiana Konklin-Rochikowski will enter.
Substitutions in the match now coming on the pitch for UCLA. Number 9, Christiana Konklin-Rochikowski. For number 25, Blair Winter. For the Ducks coming on the
Kira Fawcett, the freshman from Bountiful, Utah, who had the game winner in that match we showed you off the top of the show. 1-0 victory over Portland State comes on.
In that match against Portland State, she didn't come on until the second half, so I'm sure she's excited to get the last 5 minutes in, warm up, and I bet she's hoping to get a start in the second half as well.
One of the adaptations to college soccer for her has been being ready, right? Using that time on the bench on the sideline to enter a match with a goal and a mission.
Yeah, and you could see in that last match that she entered the game with the spark and the fire, and really the fire that Oregon Ducks needed in order to get that victory. So that's something that Coach Mertz has had to say and speak with her on. It said, don't worry about starting or not starting. I know that everybody wants to start, but what I need from you is to play at your top no matter if you're starting or not. And she's done that, and having the opportunity as a freshman to step on and get the game winner, it's huge. Huge for your confidence and huge for understanding your role.
Nice bent run by Lavrusky here. She gets a UCLA throw. Guy Haberman is standing by with our halftime report, highlights from around the league, and also a recap of UCLA. Come from behind win 2-1 against VCU. Battle in that far corner for possession. And it goes out off the Bruins. 3 minutes left in the opening half. We get a look at Kunkel Mrochikowski, the senior from Malibu. Does have 2 years of eligibility. Missed a season with an injury. Poli Sci major. Ducks looking to break out. Here's Schultz.
You know they're pushing for that responded goal. Anything you can get before halftime would just be able to change their mentality stepping on the field for the second half. Just 5 more minutes digging deep, looking for their opportunity, and that looked like it was going to be one of them.
Kira Wagner was waiting in the area.
She was waiting, and now they've earned a corner. You see the clock ticking. Excellent ball in here from Fawcett. It's the right idea. Just gets nicked out of bounds by UCLA Bruins defense. Good ball in from Fawcett. It's the right vision. Proctor on that one.
Now she's a target. UCLA got the first header, did not clear it. Sweatman hit it, and that was bending down and in.
Excellent strike there from Sweatman. Challenging Sheckman right off her line. She manages to get her mitts on it, but pops it up and over the crossbar. Ducks really pressing the UCLA Bruins in these final minutes of the first half.
Ariel Sheckman has been thoroughly vetted here by the Ducks. Nothing to show for it. There's another one that falls to the feet in front of net.
You can bet that Coach Cromwell is going to be having her defense work on those corners and making sure that the ball doesn't drop in the area. Getting those balls cleared out more quickly and diligently, but credit to Oregon Ducks playing extremely dangerous corners, making it difficult for the Bruins.
Really like that idea by Bailey Bruner. She nearly got that ball weighted in behind the back line. Whipped it in behind the center backs who were up to the test. Final 30 seconds of the opening half. Long playing it to her keeper, Hatla Henriques. Still time for UCLA to work a quick moment of magic if they hurry. Single match week for both of these teams. They can pour it all into these 90 minutes.
That was always a really nice turn of schedule.
Serta denied a shot, gets another touch on it. And that'll be enough of a clearance by Oregon to get us to the half with the score 1-0 UCLA. Mackenzie Serta in the 9th minute had the goal. It was assisted on a beautiful ball by Zoe Goralski. And the Bruins in the Pac-12 opener have the lead after 45 minutes thanks to a late save by Ariel Sheckman. She really denied Marlo Sweatman her second goal of the season. Let's check in with Amanda Cromwell. Coach, your thoughts on the first 45?
I thought we started off strong and had some good possession, and then Oregon started pressing us a bit, and we kind of lost our way as far as possession went. And we need to find our targets and find our attacking players because they're really pressing our midfielders.
We heard you and during the half saying, hey, either in front of the back line or over the back line, and the goal came from that through ball over the back line.
That was a great transition goal. Zoe finding Mac over the top and catching them high. But in the run of play, there's a big gap between their midfielders and their back line because they're pressing so high, and we need to find some players in those seams.
Thank you, Amanda. We'll let you get to your half.
All right, thanks.
All right, her Bruins ahead 1-0 at the break. Mackenzie Serta the goal scorer. And a reminder that we're checking in with Guy Haberman for our Pac-12 women's soccer halftime report. Going up the coast to San Francisco after this. Next time we see UCLA on the Pac-12 network, they'll be on the Palouse to take on Washington State. That's Sunday, October 4th. 11 a.m. Pacific. You can watch it on your Pac-12 Now app, also pac-12.com. UCLA and Washington State next week. At the half here in Westwood, the Bruins, the two-time reigning Pac-12 champions, have a 1-0 lead on the Oregon Ducks. And welcome back to Drake Stadium with Temris Lane, JB Long. And that had to feel good for UCLA coming off a 4-4 non-conference season to get that goal in the 9th minute.
It was an important goal, an extremely important goal for the Bruins side. But I must say, the Ducks are giving them a run for their money, and they've definitely had their fair of opportunities on goal.
All right, Zoe Goralski had that beautiful lead pass. And we'll show you the highlights in just a moment. But first, let's check in with Kat Mertz. Coach, what'd you tell your team at halftime?
Main message is just to settle down and play. That first 7 minutes, we couldn't really get out of our own end there, and good counterattack by UCLA. But I thought we really came on strong there in the last 20 minutes. We made some adjustments and just, play our game and connect the pass. And I thought we got a little bit frantic. But I like our opportunities. We made the goalkeeper make saves, which is really important for me.
Yeah, and those opportunities came out of some high-pressure moments that your team really turned on. Was that instructed from the sideline or a part of the game plan?
Well, I think we were giving them too much space. I think we're dropping off, and any kind of pass, a negative pass or horizontal pass, we want to squeeze the space. And I thought we were finally taking away some of that space and picking off passes, which allowed us for a couple opportunities on goal.
Thank you, Kat. We'll look forward to seeing if you can find that finishing strike here in the second half.
Thanks so much.
All right, now let's take a look at the first half highlights. And as we were saying, Zoe Goralski had the assist to Mackenzie Serta.
This was an excellent through ball, great vision, perfectly timed, and a missed clearance here from the back line of the Oregon Ducks, and a slight communication. That was difficult for Hinrichsdotter to come off her line because it was just outside of the box. She couldn't handle it.
And Temris, you were saying that Oregon is really giving UCLA a run for its money. Look at all these chances.
And check out this incredible opportunity that caught the back line of the Bruins a little off guard, followed up by this one, cheeky heel. I know I've used that word because that's exactly what it was.
Keep using it. It's a great one.
And Everett, she comes up again with a brilliant dribble. And here, Bruins defense just struggling to clear the ball off the corners. That's really where Oregon Ducks have found their best opportunities.
Marlo Sweatman really hit one there. It was saved by Ariel Scheckman. See the shots 5-2 in the Ducks' favor. That's something that you might not have expected coming into this match. Again, it was Serta with the goal in the 9th minute for UCLA.
Yeah, you didn't expect that at the end of this first half because it appeared that UCLA maybe stepped on the pitch and dominated. They got the early goal. But overall, this has been a great match.
Rima Bazia and her Bruins back out onto the field for the second 45 minutes of this Pac-12 opener. Bailey Bruner came on late in that first half. She gets the second half start as well. Mia Costa there with her, part of that Ducks huddle.
Fawcett getting that start. That 5-minute first half warm-up, important for that freshman. Let's see if she can produce any goal-scoring opportunities or even a goal.
Haley Mace getting forward. Ducks with their first win of the second half. Bailey Bruner takes it away. And now Mace has it back. Mace has been in some youth national team camps, most recently with the U20s in January before she arrived to begin her UCLA season. Bazia shielding in the corner, able to hold off Kira Fawcett. Kind of forecasted Fawcett coming on for those final 5 minutes of the first half and continuing on here in the second.
1-0 is not a comfortable lead for any side, especially when the pressure's been high and Oregon have outshot Bruins.
Fawcett brings it down to her feet, looking for the diagonal. Alyssa Everett. We showed you those highlights, how many chances she created in the first half. Carrying forward again. Now the left-footed service. Proctor to it defensively, the center back for UCLA.
Let's see how the Bruins build out of their back line. Striking down that right flank.
With Lavruski, able to get it to Serta on the deflected pass, and that just threw the whole connection out of rhythm. Long wait for Ashley Scholl's throw in. Proctor wanted to go direct to Lavruski. Oregon wins it and brings it to the floor. Lavruski with a win back for UCLA. Now she's got Alvarado. Winter back to Bazia.
And those are those negative passes that Coach Mertz was talking about, with saying that the Ducks have got to put more pressure on those balls, gain more ground. When those balls are being dropped into the UCLA defense, that's what she's talking about. Let's catch up to it, close their ground, leave them less space.
Here's Fawcett from a very similar position from which she scored the game winner against Portland State. Now it's in the threatening spots. Morrow centering pass. Can they frame it up? There's a heel flick. Everything but the strike.
Oh, what a play there from Ducks, and they still come out with the ball.
Morrow again recycles to the 6, and it's picked up by Schechtman.
That was a fine piece of football there from Oregon Ducks, looking for that final pass and shot on goal. Take a look at this one. It was Everett that gets a touch on it, touch back to Schultz, and then Bruins pounce on this one. But it was, talk about patience in the box. Ducks were looking for it. Bruins closed them down.
Former Oregon 6A Player of the Year, Ashley Scholl's, on an assist this season. Working from that left back spot. She's got it back here on the far flank. It's a giveaway. Alvarado on it now for UCLA. Parr's looking for a way out and has to dump it out. Again, she's moved from her forward role as an attacker all the way back to a center back spot here in her final campaign with Oregon.
She started the second half alongside Wong, who's finally making her way back into a fixture position, an important role.
Proctor has to be clean here. She gets it to Schechtman, who plays it with her feet. Christiana Konkel-Mochikowski with a start here in the second half. Wanted it back from Lavruski. The Ducks take over. Good step by Rima Bazia to win it back for the Bruins. Both back lines intercepting big-time yardage passes.
It's a good defensive step. And on the other side, a good recovery. That was always one of the most important parts is, you know, you're going to make mistakes in this game. Your teammates are going to make mistakes. You're going to lose the ball. It's practically inevitable. But if you lose the ball, how hard are you going to work to get it back? Those players that work the hardest are the best kind of teammates.
It's been a great little matchup here in the corner, hasn't it, between Bazia and Everett for Oregon.
Yeah, you mentioned in the first half when Bazia made that shift over, it was with direct orders to make Everett's game difficult.
Another long throw. Those have been threatening for Oregon here against UCLA.
Yeah, and they can be. If you have someone that can throw a consistent long throw in, you can play it practically like a corner.
Exactly.
But the difference is there's no offsides.
Costa again, got it to the edge of the 6. Falls to the feet of UCLA, and they sweep it away. Caitlin Wong got past one defender, could not get through the center back. Alvarado comes away with it.
Good transition here and switch from UCLA Bruins as they look to counter.
Conkle sends it back to Bazia. Nice touch out wide, but she couldn't hold it, so it goes back to the Ducks on the touch line. Mia Costa, who was an all-conference player in the WCC at San Diego before she transferred up to Eugene to play for Kat Mertz. Morrow over to Bailey Bruner. Now Morrow has it back.
Good pressure from both sides.
And as Mace flung that one ahead, she was knocked to the turf, and I believe a card's coming out. Yeah, Kira Fawcett's going in the book.
Cheers from the sideline.
So a yellow card for the freshman here in the 53rd minute. That's the first of the match.
Might be the first of her career. Just a nudge on the UCLA Bruin when they were clearing that ball out.
Looked like a potential handball on UCLA, but we play on. This is Courtney Proctor. We've seen her go over the top a couple of times. That's a nice find. Rusky settles. But again, Oregon induces that negative pass as they continue to squeeze, looking for that turnover that might create the equalizer.
Looking for the turnover and also looking to make UCLA Bruins force that pass backwards. Kira Fawcett wins this one.
Teaming with Everett. Salt Lake City-born Madison Ty, whose younger sister Alexis plays soccer at Wisconsin. That was a wonderful reunion we saw earlier this season at Drake Stadium when the Badgers came out to face the Bruins. Pepperdine just 3 shots, none on goal in UCLA's final non-conference test, and that earned Mad Ty Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week honors. Every time she turns around, there's a new member of her back four, it seems, for Amanda Cromwell.
Yeah, and I think that's something unique about UCLA this year is, and most sides, one of the first things they do is build from the back. Get your defense in order. It's a great challenge there.
High work rate by Abby Morrow. And Temris, we probably need to reset for an audience that might be joining us late that if you're wondering, hey, this is UCLA soccer, where's Taylor Smith? Where's Darian Jenkins? They're both out missing for this match, so UCLA lacking some scoring punch, but ahead 1-0. Smith is in the second match missing because of a red card. And Darian Jenkins was injured in that match against Pepperdine, not available tonight. Here's Fawcett, the lefty, got a shot off. It's over the crossbar. She continues to instigate. Let's revisit those 3 stars. So we mentioned Jenkins Smith and also Gabby Miranda. She's been absent along that back line for the Bruins for several matches now.
Yeah, and she's been a really important player for the Bruins and someone that has really been a link between those players that really sat on the bench behind the 9 starters of last year and was able to keep their energy high and their expectations, because it's hard to not play and watch your team play, and that was something that she was credited as a leader.
Serta battling for possession, able to get it out to Kasky. Now UCLA gets some numbers forward.
And you mentioned Darian Jenkins. She's an attacking threat. She's someone dangerous and fast on the ball. She offers UCLA speed.
Right idea on that combination by UCLA, but anticipated well by the Ducks. All the way back to Proctor. Good switch of field as they worked it through their back line. Centering pass from Kasky. Serta with a saving touch. Now Winter. Look at this diagonal ball.
Good hustle here on Everett.
A service knocked down. Wong was in position to deny the chance.
UCLA really coming out this half with what looks like less less than 4 backs and more like 3 backs, sending players higher into the attack and looking for that second goal.
Lavruski pinballed it through to herself, surrounded by yellow and white kits. Good anticipation there by Alvarado to get the winning touch.
Yeah, excellent anticipation. She practically saw that one coming and made a good 20-yard run to intercept that pass. Take a look at this through ball right into space. Everett had to track back, but she still caught on her heels. Wong there to block the shot.
Alvarado wide to Caskey. Junior from Las Vegas, taking it end line. Well marked. Bailey Bruner, defensively for the Ducks.
Great defensive play. Not only makes the tackle, but comes out with the ball and is able to make a forward-moving possession pass. Again, turned over back to UCLA.
Goralski steps onto it and try to play a weighted ball behind the center backs. Caskey has it. Lavruski in a nice little pocket.
Sweatman just wants to get that one out of there, but plays it to nobody on the Duck side, but right into the feet of Annie Alvarado.
Goralski out wide on that far flank. Makes a nice slice. Now she plays it through. Lavruski was her target. Anticipated by Henriques and denied.
That's excellent vision and visibility of your teammates and anticipation of the run that your teammate might make. But it was Henrique's daughter who read that one also, and she came off her line to make an excellent save here. Great weighted pass. Lavruski almost had a toe on that one, but credit to the Ducks goalkeeper. She's looking frustrated, I imagine, being that vocal leader necessary to really spark the fire of her defenders and the playmakers.
Product of the Icelandic youth women's national side, started every one of Iceland's UEFA U19 matches. So she brings some international flavor to the Oregon roster. Scholes in the back line, Bruno there as well. It's played in front. Boy, more than a chance there for Oregon.
Yeah, and it was almost as if her teammates didn't expect her to make that play back. Only 1 or 2 players on the front post. But where are the midfielders in that pocket? Those are the things that you anticipate. You always anticipate that the ball might possibly be played exactly where you want it for you to run on and have a solid strike on goal. Great play by Ducks, just not enough runners in that penalty spot.
Demers, though, I like this lineup that Kat Mertz has on the field right now. They seem to have some good chemistry, some good creation.
That's a good point. They've definitely found a cohesion, especially defensively, and really playing into their strategy and their tactics of the game of forcing the turnover and capitalizing on the counterattacks. They're showing incredible talent and skill.
Ton of youth as well, as again Bruner carries on. Works her way to the area. Could not frame it up. Let's see if Scholes can. Not enough power on that one, and it was wide of the goal anyway. Scheckman falls on it.
It's great effort there from Oregon Ducks. Let's take another look at this shot. Build up in the middle, a little fake, shoulder fade here from Scholes, and saved by Bruins keeper.
So an hour gone, it's still 1-0 UCLA. Marissa Everett, nice move to the inside, able to maintain her feet but not possession. Sweatman had a look at it briefly.
It almost looked if she would have gone down on that one, there was the potential for a penalty. Just because she had beat the player, defender dove in and she kind of tripped over her foot. So if she'd have gone down, that would have been a little gamesmanship. But she managed to stay on her feet. I'm not sure if she would have got the call or not.
Probably caught between two minds, right?
Yeah.
Do you sell the foul and hope for the whistle, or do you try and stay on your feet and get a shot off?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of reminded me of Lionel Messi, the master of balance.
Fawcett, she loves to get it onto that left, doesn't she?
That is her move. Let me tell you that she talked to her after the game when she scored. utilized that move to get the goal. And I said, I saw that scissor, and she was like, yep, the scissor.
RO play to the feet of Sweatman, surrounded by Bruins. And a whistle behind the play. The clock's going to stop here.
And another card.
Claire Winter paid the price. Was it Sweatman with the yellow? Did you see? Maybe Marin Butler? Try to find it for you here.
Let's take a look.
Yep, Butler in late.
Just no ball at all. 100% player. That's the right call.
So a yellow for Fawcett, another for Butler here in the second half.
Good read there from Wong. Just having an impressive game.
And again, just her second competitive match, so nowhere near full speed or fitness, but she's going to evolve as this conference season wears along.
Absolutely, and getting used to that brace. And it's one thing to train with it. It's another to play with it.
Did you ever have to play with?
Unfortunately, I did. I broke a couple of them. It's just
out of frustration or out of competitive play?
I didn't want to ever wear the brace, but I was mandated by the orthopedic surgeon. And, you know, she seems to just have found her feet a bit more, even from last week. Just being more confident in her body on the pitch, and with her own gauge as a defender. What makes solid defenders is that ability to anticipate and react. And I'm seeing her do even better this week than she did last. So, like you said, as she continues on in this season, we're going to continue to see solid defending and playmaking from Wong.
Well, no good time to have an ACL tear, but I guess there is a silver lining that it happened in April for her, such that she is able to work her way back in time for conference play.
Yeah, athletics and sports often have to do.
There.
Yeah, excellent combination, dangerous. But athletics and sports often have to do with timing, especially as it pertains to injuries. How quickly you can recover when they happen, where you are in your career. But good for her that she's out here today, representing Oregon Ducks and representing them well.
You can just see the pieces come together for Oregon. If they've settled on a starting keeper who's acquitted herself well, if they get their center backs nailed down, everything kind of builds from there. They've clearly got talent in the attacking third.
Yeah, and they're really coming together this match. And
look at Haley Mace just bullying her way through.
The issue is that even if it is on Mace bullying her way through, you can't sit on the ball. You can't play on this right here is just, this is what's going to get called, because what is she supposed to do? She's trying to play the ball, but you're sitting on it, or Sweatman's sitting on it. It's not really ever happened to me, no. But it happens. I've seen it before. Versions of that anyway. And it's always amazing when the opponent just goes in swinging. Can't play on the ground.
Second half observations here, Temris. What adjustments have you seen from each side coming out of that halftime break?
Well, UCLA has pushed some players forward, playing with a confident three-back and really making claim to their ability and their confidence, sending that far player really without any kind of mark. If you look on the far side of the pitch, she is unmarked on the right flank, and they're looking to release in that outlet position into the attack, forcing Ducks to have to adjust. Now, on the other side of the pitch for the Oregon Ducks, they've really found their cohesion, and defensively they're doing fantastically, keeping the Bruins in front of them, making it difficult for them to get shots off.
Malcolm Rochikowski reverses field, gets it back out to Goralski. She's been the one operating on that far flank. Low cross. Serta got a touch on it, but not the full shot she wanted. And no threat to the Oregon keeper.
And there's Wong again, coming up huge for her side, anticipating that one, as a center back should. Great supporting position. Check out this cross. It goes right to the penalty spot, and Wong sees that one coming and blocks a shot. Credit to Wong. Great defense.
Alvarado in a threatening position. Amber Munnerlyn, as you see, has re-entered the match for UCLA. This is the time where she can really be dangerous. Munnerlyn coming off of the UCLA bench. Very skilled player. 66th minute here at UCLA. This is the Pac-12 opener for the reigning conference champion. We're at Drake Stadium, 1-0 Bruins. Mackenzie Serta, who just fired that stifled shot, has the lone goal with Temris Lane, J.B. Long. Here is Munnerlin, the player we just spoke of, working with Goralski, who has the assist on the night. See what I mean?
Wow.
She just has the nifty moment. As she enters the area, she's taken down. Now, where did the foul occur?
Well, she got up just outside of the area. I don't think the referee is calling a penalty because the foul happened just outside of that. What happened here is she really just schooled her defender, played it through her legs, the nutmeg. Every defender's worst nightmare. Take a look at this. Defender responds, but responds negatively with a direct impact. No ball, all body. Now this is a dangerous free kick for UCLA.
They have Proctor all the way forward as one of the targets. She makes her run. Once again, Wong, who you've identified a couple of times with the denying defensive play.
You know, Coach Kat Mertz last week was so excited to have the potential for Wong to even get in the match, saying how strong Caitlin is as a player and a leader, and hoping that she would get back to game fitness sooner than later. Because it's not just about how your body is working, but also how your mentality is as responding from any kind of major injury.
Here comes Fawcett again. What a ball to Everett. 1v1. Oh, and she's smothered.
Tremendous defense, but excellent ball through to Everett. That was an incredible recovery there
Maddie
from
Ty.
the UCLA defense. Maddie Ty. Take a look at this, though. Great ball from Fawcett. She's got the vision. And it's Everett who just can't quite get a footing on it before Maddie Ty makes the recovery and is smothered there by the UCLA goalkeeper. Good opportunity there.
Ty didn't get much of a touch, but it was just enough to disrupt the tee up by Everett.
Yeah, Melissa Everett had to run onto it. Her head was down, though, and by the time Ty reached her, Chetman had come off her line to support that 1v1.
It's Fawcett who created it all. She's got it again. Overlapping run now to Morrow down the right side. Little step over, looking for a lane. Does she have the service? Low to Fawcett. I think she wanted to dummy it, but only Bruins behind her.
That was an exciting moment for Oregon Ducks, and it was on a through ball, much like the one the Bruins scored on earlier, and it was Serta. We're seeing big changes here coming off the bench.
Gabrielle Matlich, a sophomore for UCLA, among the changes. As you see Mackenzie Serta, the goal scorer, get a breather. Taylor Kuroda, a freshman from Hawaii, making her Pac-12 debut for the Oregon Ducks as well.
And number 13, Kira Wagner, coming on for number 12, Bailey Roder.
We've got that all sorted and organized. Into the 70th minute here at UCLA with the Bruins in front 1-0 in their conference opener. Rima Bazia, bottom right-hand portion of your screen, has taken over at left back once again. She's had a close eye on Marissa Everett for a lot of the minutes she's played tonight. Important win here for the Ducks. Can they turn it into something threatening?
Great transition here. Who's going to step to this one?
Wagner, dispossessed by Bazia. Again, making her first career start for UCLA.
Mistouch there from Wagner. Excellent ball in transition, though, from Oregon Ducks. You can see that they've got this fire ready to do something in front of the goal.
Wagner, toe drag, left-footed ball. It gets all the way through and hammered on, but high.
That's a close miss. That's when I'm sure she wishes she had back.
Kuroda not even 45 seconds into the match.
That's a tough first touch into the match, but also one you dream about, just being able to hammer that one away. And there was another player running onto that ball, looking for that same opportunity just over the crossbar.
Heather Kuroda mentioned she's from Hawaii, did not play for her high school team, completed for Surf Hawaii for 10 years, their team captain, leading goal scorer, identified in the recruiting process, carried a GPA over 4.0, well qualified academically to compete in the Pac-12.
Solid tackle there.
Abby Morrow now for the Ducks, marked by Lavruski. She'll opt to use her right back, Mia Costa. Costa with a long ball ahead. What a win.
Good pressure there from Everett.
Continues to impress as Proctor takes her to the corner. It'll be an Oregon throw.
Proctor just testing that one and getting some words there from the official. This is where things start to get a little bit tense in these final minutes of the match. Bruins holding on to their 1-0 lead, and Oregon Ducks looking to equalize.
Another long throw from Costa. You can hear the calls of away from the UCLA defenders. They've yet to accomplish that task. Bazia will get to it. Tempest, would you go as far as to say that Oregon's had the better of the run of play here in the second half?
Yeah, I would at this moment, and it's a change in the formation for UCLA that I think they've hoped to have more of the possession, given that they were sending that fourth defender forward to get further into the attack. And Oregon has been all over them, and the ball has been in their attacking third with opportunities down the flank, a number of different moments in this match. You feel as almost Oregon is minutes away, or they're going to get their shot and change the course of this match. Kind of got that feeling on this warm and muggy night.
And temperatures up around 90 this afternoon, but as we've settled into the night, you're right, it has become humid. This playing surface probably a little slick, something the players have to consider with their weighted balls.
And it was just played on previously. That changes it too.
Lavruski diving to the center of the field. Here's Munnerlin. She retreats out of the penalty area. Caskey hit it. Now Lavruski's got it.
Great build up there from Bruins.
Winter from distance, wide of the post.
What an excellent build-up from Bruins. Just as we're talking about Oregon Ducks having the better possession and opportunities of the half, it's UCLA Bruins who combine in their possession and put together a series of passes that lead to this brilliant shot. It just goes wide. Actually saved and deflected by Oregon Ducks, earning Bruins a corner kick.
Winter will take it from the corner. Plays short to Caskey. She hits it. Bending away from goal and snapped down by Lavruski. Could not put it on. Well executed reset by UCLA nonetheless.
UCLA number 10, Cody Lavruski. Goalkeeper Oregon. Oregon substitution match after having on the pitch number 8. Mara Mueller for number 6. Abby Morrow.
So just as we were saying that Oregon had taken over the run of play, the most threatening combinations for UCLA yet in this second half. They maintain a 1-0 advantage. Mackenzie Serta in the 9th minute, the only goal of the match.
I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 5-10 minutes we see adjustments on the Oregon side, releasing maybe an option to go further in the attack and making it more of a 3-back for Oregon Ducks, just to put the pressure on. See if they can't get away with that equalizer here at Drake Stadium. Depends on the coach, but some coaches might say that, what's the difference if you lose 1-0 as opposed to 2-0, and take the risk at finding that equalizer as opposed to just sitting back and hoping to only lose by 1. No, you want to put the numbers forward. Right now we see actually a 3-back for Oregon Ducks, moving Fu further into the attack.
They're able to get 7 in the attacking third here. Could not settle off the throw. Now they get to it. Here's that player you just mentioned, Fu getting forward. Her cross denied off Lavruski, though, and so a corner kick opportunity. 5th of the match for the Oregon Ducks.
This is a big opportunity. UCLA haven't been so strong on their defensive clearances. on these corners. This could be an opportunity for the Oregon Ducks to capitalize, use their aerial strength, and prove something.
Kira Wagner delivers. Oh, what a header. It was right on the keeper. So is the follow. Do they have a third?
Two amazing opportunities on goal and incredible saves. Bryce Shetman, huge come up for that goalkeeper. She's got to be feeling full of adrenaline and extremely proud of those particular saves. Those were dangerous. One there, and here's the second. She maintains her balance. And Oregon almost managed a third shot off.
Now they've got another one. Wagner's been a difference maker here in these middle minutes of the second half. First the corner entry, now the shot on goal.
Oregon really pressing. They want this.
Here she is again. Witt with Costa.
It's a great ball in.
Proctor sweeps it away. Malcolm Rochikowski. Amber Munnerlin trying to settle possession down for UCLA and protect this 1-0 advantage.
The Ducks have to track back. They'd opened up in the back, leaving only 3 defenders. So now they're having to hustle back to make sure they're marked up.
Conkle wanted the whistle, instead the service. Entry pass from Bazia.
Great clearance there from Oregon Ducks. Finding a moment of peace here as they look to reset. Get the ball into their attacking third. Fu looking for options. And those are plays that you hope to maintain possession on. Every minute counts. Taking care of the ball in those moments is huge and important.
Unfortunate for the 5'3" freshman Taylor Kuroda there. Just took a big bounce over her head. The ball was well intended.
Yeah, it went to her. Funny bounce. It happens.
Winter comes off. Alvarado is back. So is Mace. Bruins trying to cover these final 12 minutes and get a Pac-12 opening victory.
Putting Mason, it looks like UCLA has reverted to their 4-back. Playing for that 1-0 victory at the moment.
Figure they took their chances at extending their lead. Now they'll try and bunker down and finish it.
Yep. That seems to be the game. If they made the substitution, putting Mace back onto the pitch.
They don't necessarily need to take a defensive posture if they can hold it with possession. There's Mace, the player you mentioned, helping out defensively. Kuroda down the left flank. Wanted Wagner with that centering pass.
High pressure from Wagner, and it pays off.
What a work rate she's been. She has just been tremendous in this second half.
Yes, incredible work rate. Just outside the box.
Is it Marin Butler taken down? Yes.
By margins. I think we've seen a couple opportunities that were on the borderline, literally, of the penalty area, and they're going to be free kicks just outside the box. Take a look at this. Just coming in strong here, no ball, all body. Earns Oregon Ducks a dangerous free kick.
And Butler's one of the players that Kat Mertz trusts to hit it from distance, too. She doesn't need much of a crease. Even from that distance, she can be very threatening.
This is a perfect distance, especially if you've been training this. Just outside the penalty area. Dangerous position.
Everett and Fu. It's the freshman who takes it on a hop. Twice saved by UCLA. What a moment for Ariel Schechtman.
What a big game for her. Incredible saves, double saves even, especially in difficult visibility shots like that one. She was behind a wall, and it was really the follow-up that she had to save. Great play by that goalkeeper.
Oregon substitution match now coming up.
Really proving that she deserved that start today.
Look how well positioned Wagner was for that deflection, that rebound.
Now, I'm sure goalkeeper critics said would say that she might have had that first one and she deflected it off her knees, and that's something that maybe she should have held on to. But credit to her for following up with a second big save.
And again, we just described the conditions. It's probably slick right in front of her goal. The men played a 90-minute match before this against VCU. The damp conditions, we were on the field beforehand, and there is some moisture on the grass.
Yeah, absolutely. It's muggy. There's moisture on the grass right where she is. It's a little bit more muddy, more worn. The ball rolls faster. But Oregon is pushing. They are pressing. They're out to prove to the Pac-12 that they shouldn't have been considered number 11.
They talked to coaches around the league in anticipation of this Pac-12 season, and I think there's almost a consensus that Stanford and UCLA, who have been the titans of this conference, may not be as top-heavy and as dominant as they have been. And then some teams that have been bringing up the back end of the table, the Oregon and the Oregon States, they've made great strides, and so it's going to be more congested, more compelling than ever before here in the Pac-12.
Yes, absolutely. Washington State has made a tremendous run. Same with University of Washington. Don't forget my alma mater, Arizona State Sun Devils, also making a statement at the start of this season in non-conference play.
It went nearly a month without allowing a goal.
Absolutely. Kevin Boyd, coming from California down to Arizona State, has really worked to turn that program and really make an impact.
What a play there. Lavruski to Bazia, who's forward from her left back spot. Did she earn a corner? She did for UCLA. Rima Bazia, who comes to UCLA from Irvine, California, now in her second season as a student, but first competitively, a redshirt freshman. Lavruski had the pass to set her up, now takes her place as a target. She got a forehead on the last corner. We'll see if she is once again.
They play the short corner here, and it's Annie Alvarado, but defended extremely well by Wagner.
Back out to Lavruski. Defender closing on her. What a touch to Munnerlin.
Munnerlin
back
looks
post.
to the far post, yeah.
I think she wanted to give it back to Caskey, but knew she was offsides.
Yeah, that was a good read, and she really did have a good look at that far post. She just didn't quite get enough bend on it and didn't keep it low enough. Another corner, though, for the Bruins. These are big opportunities in final minutes of the match. These are ones that you train for. These are ones that you do fitness for. When you're tired, when you've already played practically a full game, how can you keep and maintain your focus?
Caskey and Alvarado again, teaming from the short corner. Here's Caskey, far post. Lavruski her target, cleared by the Oregon header.
Excellent defense there from Oregon Ducks, getting this one just out of harm's way. But back to the UCLA Bruins defense to reset.
Costa had that header.
It was a great clearance from Costa.
And she's got that trap and that ball ahead.
Look at this speed now from both players.
Proctor just outraces Abby Morrow.
This is the reason why you run 120s. 120s at training. That would literally transition from one touchline to the next.
Kat Mertz brings Bruner back into the match in the 85th minute. Wagner is upset. She's had so many chances, has created some for herself and some for her teammates. She feels like her team should be level at the worst.
Yeah, and Wagner, I wouldn't be happy if I were her either, coming off the field in such an intense moment of play when the final minutes of the match. You want to stay in these kind of games. These are the kind of games that you live to play for, play in. She's worked so hard, defensively, offensively, creating opportunities for her teammates, and now she's being pulled off. But you can only respect that Coach Kat Mertz has a plan.
Serta, who has the lone goal, back in for the final five for Amanda Cromwell. Oregon will host the Mountain Schools next, Colorado first and then Utah. UCLA goes to the state of Washington for a stop in Seattle and then a trip to the eastern part of the state to the Palouse to see Washington State's.
Up in my neck of the woods from Bellingham, Washington. Somehow I managed to get away from the rain into the desert.
With Temris Lane, a former ASU standout, JB Long, glad you're with us on the opening night of Pac-12 play in Westwood. 4 minutes left. Costa and the Ducks looking for the equalizer.
It's been a great match between two strong, talented sides.
Bailey Bruner, who came on just moments ago, spots Butler. Shot deflected, and it's an Oregon corner. That was Abby Morrow with the shot. Looks like she's going to jog out to the corner to take it as well. Time becoming precious, as are the opportunities now for Oregon.
Shutman made incredible saves on the last corner. Let's see how she does on this one.
In swinger, and the keeper had eyes on it all the way. Three minutes left to cover for Ariel Sheckman and her Bruins. She's looking for her second consecutive shutout as UCLA's starting keeper. Took care of a ranked Pepperdine team to round out the non-conference slate.
Number 2! Good eye. Hey, you're fine, Joe, you're fine.
Each of these throw-ins draining precious seconds, and UCLA in no hurry.
Yeah, if you're the Oregon Ducks, you're hating these slow-moving throw-ins that are relatively strategic for the Bruins side.
This is the possession they need. Can they hold it? Well done.
Morrow, excellent there. On skill and pace. Recovered there from Bruins defense.
And this will be a UCLA throw.
I'm sure they'll take their time on this one as well. My coach, Ray Leone at ASU, always called this gamesmanship, where you played the clock as well as playing your opponent.
It's the advantage that comes with catching that early goal. UCLA, despite a few breakdowns, has been able to play from in front, trying to hang on now to start 1-0 in conference play. And don't you know that other Pac-12 sides around the league have their eyes on this match? They're watching. They want to know how strong the defending champions are.
Well, it's been a great match. It's been a great match for both sides. Incredible opportunities, some mistakes defensively. On the one important mistake on the Oregon Ducks side that resulted in the goal for the Bruins. But overall, we've seen incredible talent from the Ducks, bringing their A game, showing the league that they have talent, they have the potential to be extremely dangerous. And of course, in between the posts for UCLA, Sheckman coming up huge. A number of saves on the night.
The scoreboard here at Drake Stadium has her for double-digit saves, career high. Final minute of play. Oregon needs his possession. They need a solid build, and they need the finishing strike they've lacked for 89 minutes. What a ball forward. Ducks could not keep it. It's escorted to Sheckman.
You know, if you're Oregon Ducks and the final whistle blows and you see that you've had so many shots and outshot your opponents, it's a tough one. This is a tough one to walk away from, knowing that some of those shots should have been in the back of the net. Or if only.
Have to be impressed and encouraged by this player, Marissa Everett from Canyon Lake, California. She's on a goal for the season, and she's going to be an all-league player before too long.
She is a spicy playmaker that has the ability on the ball and off it to really create a lot of opportunities.
Amanda Cromwell and the Bruins in their comfort zone, though, back in Pac-12 play. They improved to 1-0 on the season with a 1-0 opening victory over the Oregon Ducks. Ariel Sheckman, double-digit saves. She gets another clean sheet win. We'll step aside and come back with more to wrap up Pac-12 conference opening play. On the strength of a Mackenzie Serta goal in the 9th minute, UCLA gets a Pac-12 opening win over a very game Oregon Ducks side. We look forward to seeing the Bruins again later this season. Thursday night, 7 o'clock. It's our game of the week. Hashtag Pac-12WSOC all season long on social media. UCLA travels to Seattle. We'll see if the Bruins catch a national ranking in the updated polls. Maybe they take that with them to face the Dogs. Thursday, 7 o'clock, again, our Pac-12 women's soccer game of the week throughout conference play this fall on Pac-12 Network. With Temerce Lane, JB Long wrapping things up from Westwood, Ariel Schechtman. Her second career start, both of them have been shutout wins.
What an incredible match from this youngster. And after the match, we had our cameras on her. She had the most beautiful smile on her face. Just proud to be able to step up for her teammates.
Oh, she's nice enough to join us down on the field. Post-match, Ariel Schechtman, congratulations on another clean sheet and a Pac-12 opening victory. She'll be with us momentarily to tell us about those double-digit saves against a very hard-charging Oregon Ducks side in that second half. Okay, Ariel, welcome to our Pac-12 Network telecast. Two starts, 2 clean sheets. You have to be pretty pleased with how your UCLA career has started.
Yeah, it's all pretty exciting.
Congratulations on those remarkable saves. There were a couple where you were blinded, but can you talk to me about the set of double saves that you had to make and walk me through those?
Yeah, on those, it was a hard shot that I had to deflect, and then that coming out just was another shot right away, and luckily I was in the right position and was able to save it. My posts were there, so I think they would have had my back if I wasn't there, but good to get those saves.
You're part of a group that has had to wait a long time behind some really outstanding talents in the upper classes ahead of you for this opportunity. Now that you and some of the recruits that you came in with are having your moment in the Pac-12, how are you settling in?
It's all pretty exciting. I got my first playing time against North Carolina, so jumping right into it, and I think we're all pretty grateful to have been able to play with those vets and learn under them, and now that we're getting our opportunity, we're really trying to make a difference.
Thank you very much, Ariel. Congratulations on another clean sheet victory to start conference play.
Thank you so much.
And with that win, UCLA improves to 5-4 on their season overall. Oregon falls to 3-6, but this is a Ducks program on the rise under Kat Mertz.
Absolutely, and this is a game that they were totally in. If you look at the statistics, 13 shots, 10 of them on goal. That's why Schechtman had such an incredible match, because none of them went in. They were in this match. On the look of Coach Kat Mertz's face was disappointment. She knew that they were in this match. They played the way that they went out there to play. They just didn't finish. Now
UCLA gets Taylor Smith back. We hope for their sake that Gabby Miranda is not too far off, and we wish Darian Jenkins, who missed tonight's match with an injury, all the best as well. Whoever's called upon answers the call for Amanda Cromwell and the reigning Pac-12 champions. They get off to a great start here in Westwood, a 1-0 victory over the Oregon Ducks. Mackenzie Serta, the goal in the 9th minute. For Temerce Lane, I'm JB Long. Thank you for being with us. Tonight on the Pac-12 Network, Dennis Kirkpatrick has been our producer, Brad Toberman, our director. More UCLA Bruins soccer next week on the network. 1-0 tonight's final. Have a great weekend.